Happy Sunday, everybody. Day 13 in China is over, and I have a system. Whenever I want to find some new friends in a new country or a new place, I go to church, because at church they're required to be nice to you, or else they're being sinful. So church is the place I go in order to find nice people, and usually I do, for the most part. So today I decided to go to a Chinese church to meet some Chinese friends. However, I didn't know this, but in China, Chinese people aren't allowed to go to churches that are led by foreigners. So they're only allowed to go to churches that are registered with the government. And I'm not sure if foreigners could go to those. So I went to church today. It was an international church. Mostly it was full of people from the US and different countries in Africa, but not very many Chinese people, if any at all, because they all have other churches they're supposed to be going to. So today's make Chinese friends at church mission wasn't completely accomplished, but hopefully we find a way to find them somewhere. Make some friends somehow, because this is week 3 and my Chinese friend level is not as high as I would like it to be. I have 21 American friends, but I'm in China. I want some Chinese friends. I want to show you how I study. So every day I make a paper. At the end of the day, I fill out a paper. I make 6 columns, and this is what a typical paper looks like. So I'm not sure if you can see very well. 6 columns. The first column says person or place, and then the Chinese word, the way you read it in English, the meaning, and then I have 2 more columns. One is for the traditional way of writing it, because the way that they write characters in China is different from the way they write it traditionally in countries like Taiwan or Hong Kong. And also a column for the Japanese writing system, the way they would write it in Japan, if Japan had that word. I just like to see how certain words have changed over the time, and I'm just curious in that. And the way I do it, the reason why I do it this way, I have the first column being person or place, is because I say this a lot in my videos, but context is very important. I remember the words that I learned based on who taught me it and where I learned it, so that after a while I forget who taught me and where I learned it, but I can associate that word with the place, and it's much easier to remember. It's really hard to remember a list of words from a textbook. It's easy to remember the situation where you learned it and the background, I guess, story to it. So every day I have a paper like this that I fill out. So some examples with the place I learned it, who I learned it from, the Chinese character, the reading, the meaning, the traditional way of writing it, and the Japanese way of writing it, if there is one. So yeah, that's the way I learn. Hopefully, if it's helpful, you can implement something similar, and I'll see you later. Bye!